Good afternoon, everybody. Let's try to find a seat so we can get started. Wow. Wow, holy cow. That was fast. Wow, the quickness of that only goes to show that we are in an academic setting and you think you're in class, or if you can remember back when you might have been in class. Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, but that was fairly weak. So it is Thursday afternoon. It is the beginning of February, if you can believe that. So I will give you one opportunity to do that again, to impress the judges that are here, because at some time when, and unfortunately if you're in front of them, you want them to remember that you were boisterous on the day at Barry University by saying, "Good afternoon, everyone." Now there are certain individuals I see in the room that are trying to make an impression. All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gary Pyatt, chairman, proud chairman of the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce. More importantly, president of the Aventura Police Foundation, and it says here, senior VP of Campbell Property Management. But the first two, in all due respect and honesty, are the most important to me. A reminder, we are in an academic setting. So please turn off your cell phones as we begin our program, and we want to make sure we are cordial and respectful of everybody that is here. It is my great pleasure today, one, to be here and introduce several of the people that you will be hearing from today. But just a note, most of you have known me for, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 years. And my hair color has not changed in 15 or 20 years. But that being said, I am probably, how many people remember Barry University when Sister Jean, and it was an all-girls school? Raise your hand. How many remember? All right, so I'm not the only one. It does date us, though, by the way. Okay, but I do remember that because when I first came from Pennsylvania and moved down here in the early 70s, this was an all-girls school, and Sister Jean was, I'll say, ran the school. I'll leave it at that, all right? But she was probably one of the kindest, gentlest, most intelligent people, caring people that I have ever met. So, thank you for having us here at Barry University today, so it does bring back memories for me. What I'd like to do first thing today is introduce Dr. Mike Allen, president of Barry University, who we are proud to have to say a few words to you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Gary. My hair also has not changed color. It just hits the ground a lot more than yours apparently does. It's so special to have all of you here with us on our campus. We're just delighted to have you here. As a native New Englander here in Dolphin Country, besides being secretly ecstatic about the participants in the Super Bowl on Sunday, I am glad that we are returning to what should be very, very normal winter weather for all of us here, and I hope everybody's warmed up nicely on this beautiful day. I'd like to thank Gary and Elaine, the entire Aventura Marketing Council, for your partnership, for your continued support, and for choosing Barry as your home for this event here today. Just out of curiosity, how many is this your first time on campus? Wonderful. We are thrilled to have you here, and I would invite you, before you go back to your cars, before you go home, please take a walk around, see what we have to offer. I think you'll be very, very impressed with everything that you see. Also, sincere thank you to the extraordinary group of judges who we have here today, who you will hear from shortly. They pronounce themselves the best group of judges anywhere in the state of Florida, which I'm certain is absolutely the truth, and you will see that for yourselves shortly. I'd also like to express a very special note of appreciation to Commissioner Dr. Billy Joel and his wife, Sandy. Billy and Sandy have demonstrated extraordinary generosity in providing scholarship support to Barry University students, helping them make it all the way to graduation. The doctor in front of Billy's name now is new, as we were delighted to give Billy an honorary doctorate of humane letters last May at our commencement ceremony. Billy and Sandy, who isn't here, your friendship, your support, it's just a privilege to know you. Thank you for all you do for Barry and our community. Now, a smart person once told me, always thank your bosses when they're in the room. We have 3 members of our Barry University Board of Trustees who are here. John Bussell, Chris McFarland, and Kimberly Toppy-Morris are here. Thank you all for joining us. And I know you all have a packed program, Gary. I promise I'll be very brief, but I hope this is just the first step in all of you learning more, getting to know Barry University just a little bit better. Let me tell you just a few things about us. Here at Barry, we pride ourselves in truly being a school of opportunity, creating affordable private education for many who are the very first in their families to go to college, while also welcoming students from over 80 different countries and territories. Many of these students lend their talents to our community here as they make their permanent home and lives and work here after graduation. We have a world-class faculty here, starting with our law school in Orlando that many of you may not know about, our new dean, Charlie Rose, who's starting shortly, along with 100 different programs and majors right here on our campus in Miami Shores, in business, healthcare, education, sciences, and the arts, all being enhanced by our new Artificial Intelligence Center, bringing the application of cutting-edge technologies into everything that we teach, ensuring that our graduates are ready to meet the talent and the workforce demands and needs in our local community. And finally, and perhaps most importantly to all of you, we believe deeply in creating meaningful partnerships with industry. And here's where your input, your support, and leadership is so important. Creating internships and experiential learning opportunities for our students, but also helping us to shape curriculums and programs that will most effectively meet your needs as employers in 2026 and beyond. The possibilities are endless, and we're very excited to see what we can all accomplish together. Thank you all for letting Barry University into your lives. Thank you for your civic leadership, and have a terrific program here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce a few people at our head table. Again, you know, he stepped off to the side, but let's give him another thank you, Dr. Mike Allen, president of Barry University, for being one of our hosts today. The Honorable, and I got to sit next to him many, many times, the Honorable Dr. Billy Joel, Judge Linda Singer-Stein, North Dade Justice Center, a dear friend of ours. He's been a dear friend of ours no matter where he goes in Miami-Dade County, but especially today, Dr. Pablo Ortiz, Provost, Barry University, Judge Christina Correa, Circuit Court Judge with offices at the North Dade Justice Center, the Honorable Enid Wiseman, former mayor of Aventura, Mark A. Rosenberg, PhD, FIU, and it says 5th president. The Honorable, I think she moved. The Honorable, and a very, very, she's at the end, sorry, order. The Honorable, dear friend of ours, Sally Heyman, former Miami-Dade commissioner. Back to the order, Aventura Chief of Police, Michael Bentalila. Myriam, I have you on the other side, so you'll wait. That's okay. Judge Natalie Moore, North Dade Justice Center. Back to the order, Myriam Lehr, another very dear friend, retired judge, mediator, arbitrator, and for today, she is our moderator. Smilka Melgoza, did I get that right? Yes? Oh my God, thank you. Vice President of Barry University, thank you, Smilka, for everything you did today in coordinating with the Chamber in regards to our luncheon here today. Judge Christopher Benjamin, North Dade Justice Center. Kimberly Topping Morris, Barry University Board of Trustees. Dr. Marie Sandra Severe, CEO, Jackson North Hospital Board Member of the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce. Judge Raul Cuervo, North Day Justice Center. I always add this to my dear friend because it usually gets missed. Dr. Marcela Martinez, Regional Vice President of Hotwire Communications and AMC Board Member. All right, Judge Michael Barquette, Miami-Dade County Court. Amanda Sleebaker, Senior Vice President of Brown & Brown and AMC Board Member. It is, wait. They always put notes here. Also at the head table, Barry University President's Cabinet. Am I right? Jen Pugh? Where's Jen? Stand up, Jen. Yvette Katungo? Where's Yvette? Perfect. And Heidi Alzati. Where's Heidi? She what? She had to step out. She absent for today's class. It is my pleasure to move the program along and turn it over, as I said, to a very dear friend of ours here at Barry University, Dr. Pablo Ortiz. Oh, wait. Elaine, am I giving this to who? Later. As a good student, I've learned to ask the person in charge.
If anyone thinks that their day-to-day jobs are stressful, managing the timeline that Elaine puts in front of you is 10 times more stressful than anything we do. So I'm going to try to keep this going. First of all, also on behalf of all of the faculty, staff, and the students here at Barry University, I welcome you to this great university. I've had the pleasure and honor of being here for the last year and a half, and it really has been a life-changing experience for me. So I thank you all for joining us, for all the work that the Aventura Marketing Council does. Gary, for your leadership, and of course, the one who we know runs all of Aventura, Elaine Adler. So thank you, Elaine. So I'm gonna keep the speed going of these introductions because we do have additional special guests that I'd like to recognize. And you've heard that we have not only Board of Trustee members that are here, but we have members of our cabinet. There's a couple of others that were not introduced. We also have with us here John Moore, General Counsel for Barry University. And Julie Isha, which is the Vice President of Enrollment and Student Engagement. So clearly we're all here. Nobody's running the university. So we'll be all right. Aside from our internal VIPs, we also have a number of VIPs that are with us here. So let me start off with Judge Kevin Hellman, candidate for re-election. From our friends of the City of Aventura, Commissioner Cliff Ain, Commissioner Rachel Friedland, Commissioner Cindy Orlinsky, Commissioner Gustavo Blockman, and from their neighbor city, the City of North Miami Beach, former Mayor Evan Piper, Leslie Lowenthal, Executive Director of the Greater North Miami Beach Chamber, from the City of North Miami, Councilman Kevin Burns, Dave Burney, head of the Greater North Miami Chamber of Commerce. And from the Office of Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava is Melanie Burke. We have Alexis Mosley from Miami-Dade Commissioner Mickey Steinberg's office here as well. So I'm sure there was one or two folks we've missed, so I'm going to go do my homework and collect those names, and I'll introduce those folks. While we do that, I'd like to invite a fan favorite here, always at the Aventura Marketing Council meetings, and that is Chief Bentolila. I'll invite you to come up and join me here at the podium for the Officer of the Month presentation. Chief?
Good afternoon. One thing you learn when you become a police officer is always be good to medical staff because you never know when they're going to take care of you. And the number 2 on that list is judges. Always be good to judges because you never know when you're in their courtroom, you always want it to go well for you. So even though I don't go to court as much as I used to, hello, judges. Love all of you. So I want to thank the Marketing Council, the foundation, my commission, who's always supportive of the police department, and Commissioner Steinberg's office for always supporting the Officer of the Month, and of course my staff members who are all over here. You'll see us in polyester. So without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank you for your job. We're honoring Officer Baramov, who could not be here today because he is serving his reserve duty with the U.S. Army. So he has a valid reason for not being here because we support our military. So he was selected for Officer of the Month when midnight shift patrol officers responded to a missing juvenile report. When the officers were looking for the juvenile, we ended up finding them at the hospital, and they had a severe injury to their leg. They were hit by a vehicle, and the person in the vehicle, at least they stopped, scooped up the juvenile, put him in the car, ran a couple errands, and then dropped the juvenile off at the hospital, where the juvenile was given serious care and actually had to be transported from there to Joe DiMaggio. So you know how serious it was if they did that. We had nothing to go on. Our investigators, our traffic investigators were looking, and we had nothing we can go on. The juvenile wasn't able to give us much. Officer Baramov, who was not even working that night, several days later heard about this, and I guess it just bothered him inside. And he started going through all of our possibilities. We have a packet talk camera system throughout our city, and he started looking at all the cameras and all the footage from that night, and slowly was able to, by going backwards, identify the vehicle, get a photograph of the individual. He started interviewing people at the hospital and witnesses who may have seen them. And piece by piece, with several hours of putting this all together, was able to positively identify who this individual was and find them. Now, the family, by their own choice, did not want to pursue criminal charges. But the family is not of means, and money was really tight in the family. And without being able to identify who this individual was, finding out their insurance and having the insurance help with the medical bills that this juvenile would have for quite some time, they would have been in serious trouble and probably wouldn't have been able to provide the proper care that the child deserved without that information. So due to Officer Baramov and his tenacious will to identify who this person was, we were able to get that information, get the health insurance to pay what was due to the child's rehabilitation, and the family was extremely, extremely grateful for the professionalism, perseverance, and dedication that Officer Baramov portrayed and represented our agency and our city. And I couldn't be more proud of him and of all of the people who wear the badge for Aventura. They do an amazing job for an amazing city. So we're not the city of excellence for nothing. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, AMC members, honorable judges, and Barry University. Thank you so much for hosting us. My name is Rita Regev-Spector. I am a broker associate with Keller Williams Eagle Realty and chairperson of the AMC's Real Estate Committee, which many of you don't know it exists. Our real estate committee is open only to realtors and is going very strong. We just had a tremendous event recently at the Continuum in North Bay Village. If you haven't heard about it, you will. North Bay Village is on fire, as real estate in general. And in the past, we've hosted events at the St. Regis and Bentley in Sunny Isles, and we bring in stellar speakers. So what we're looking for basically are developers that want to host 25 to 30 realtors from the organization, and we will bring in the speaker. Of course, we're always looking for entertaining and lively speakers. The last one that we had at the Continuum, we brought in Vanessa Cruz, who is in charge of Open House Miami. And if you haven't heard of this, it's an incredible event that goes on all over the world. And February 27th, 28th, and March 1st, here in Miami, everything's open for free. Vizcaya, museums, art exhibits, and you can get online and look up Open House Miami, and we learned all about it. Everybody was super excited about it. If you are a developer, a real estate developer, or you know of one that is interested in hosting a group, she's doing the cane thing. Yeah, I know, I get that all the time. Please see me after the meeting or get in touch with me. I'm very Googleable. You can find me anywhere, and enjoy your afternoon. Thank you so much.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Tamara Filgueras, founder and CEO of On Path Counseling and Wellness, and a member of the AMC's Chairman's Roundtable. I also have the privilege of chairing the AMC's new Health and Wellness Committee, created for professionals in the health and wellness arena, just another membership of the Aventura Marketing Council. We wanted our AMC members who are health professionals to connect, share information, and support one another. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, February 24th at the HCA Florida Aventura Hospital. So if you're a professional in the health and wellness community and you'd like to find out more, see me after the meeting. Thank you.
So I want everyone to know, last month I spoke, I did not have a script. And I thought I did a really good job, but Elaine gave me one today. And I'm using my valuable time. I'm Cliff Ain. I'm a partner in H&Co. We're a global CPA firm. I'm proud to be a Chairman's Roundtable member of AMC, and I'm also the Speed Biz Committee Chair. AMC members, I didn't see all of you at our last Speed Biz meeting. It was at the B12 store at Aventura Mall. You missed out on one-on-one networking opportunities, a great breakfast. Every meeting we have, those who go know we have a great time. Our next meeting is Thursday, March 5th, 7:45. You can get there earlier if you want to mingle and have breakfast. It's going to be at the Barclay at Park Square, which used to be called the Plaza at Park Square. And if everyone knows they do their own breakfast, we're going to make sure it's extra special. Please come, bring your business cards. All you got to do is click that you're coming. If you don't click, please come anyway. Thank you very much.
Actually, we're up. Yeah, we're up. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Enid Wiseman, former mayor of Aventura, and I have the pleasure of helping to introduce our new Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce members, along with Alexis Mosley, who's the district coordinator for Miami-Dade Commissioner Mickey Steinberg. I'd like to ask our Aventura commissioners and our former commissioner, Dr. Billy Joel, to present the new member plaques and take photos with our new members. They're in the corner. And where did Andy go? Okay. We should be good. As your company's name is called, please join our group of VIPs at the front of the room. We have a full agenda today, so we'll be giving very brief introductions. But on every table is a flyer with complete information on all of our new members. We support our new members, and we continue to support our old members. Alexis.
The Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce has never gone on a membership drive. It's always been you, our members who have referred the associates and their friends. We thank all of you. We are here because of your support. Today, we are welcoming 9 new general members. Please hold your applause until the end, and let's start with Berkowitz Legal Group. Cheryl Berkowitz, please come up front. For decades, Cheryl has been a formidable advocate in mass tort and class action litigation with a particular emphasis on women's health, successful representing thousands of clients in landmark cases. Delighted to welcome Berkowitz Legal Group to the AMC.
Okay, our next new member, Booyah! Gastro Bar Aventura. And I'm lucky enough to say I was just there last week. It is phenomenal. Madeline Figueroa, will you please come up? This award-winning restaurant from Spain was inspired by Spain's vibrant tapas scene and lives up to its expectations. There's a happy hour, a brunch on weekends, lunch and dinner, And the reports that keep coming in are great. We're so very happy, Madeline, to have you and Gastro Bar as a new member. Or do I have another one? Ah, and another, I guess I've been busy. Another place I happened to visit the past week, camp. Manny Raghunandan. Manny, please come up. This family experience blends play and retail. Kids love the Magic Door adventure and hands-on activities. And at their ribbon cutting next week, I will be creating something special in slime, along with some of our Aventura commissioners, all in fun. Welcome aboard to camp.
Diamond Direct, and
Wait a minute. I get slime and you get diamonds?
well, I'm very sorry for Mr. or Mrs. Baker. I do not know how to pronounce your name, and I'm not phonetical. So even though Elaine put pronunciation keys, I cannot say it. So if you're Mr. or Mr. Baker from Diamonds Direct, please come forward. Diamonds, gold, silver, sparkling jewelry at Diamonds Direct delivers a one-of-a-kind luxury experience. No matter the budget, let's help you celebrate your love through many wonderful years. Welcome, Diamonds Direct. Okay. And then our next one is from Exquisite Catering by Robert. Tristan Richards, today's luncheon is just an example of what Exquisite Catering can provide for our next event. They're creative, professional, and offer a personalized service for your family, social, or corporate gatherings. Delighted to have Exquisite Catering by Robert as a member.
Thank you. Next, Salt and Straw Aventura. Anjanine Timon. There's a whole lot of joy in this ice cream that delivers unforgettable flavors and legendary hospitality. Here's creative for you. Chocolate gooey brownie, pear and goat cheese, honey lavender. Talk about innovation. Sounds delicious. And a sweet welcome to Salt and Straw Aventura. Team He Wins. Philip Hertzberg and John Bussell. This fiduciary wealth management firm is dedicated to helping the South Florida community navigate financial complexity, with Philip as the lead financial advisor and John as the chief investment officer. Delighted to have Team He Wins as an AMC member.
The Jacobs Law Group, Russell Jacobs. Russ owns the 14-member real estate-focused law firm and title company that handles all types of real estate, transactions and closing throughout Florida, and with a focus on detail. Russ also teaches real estate agents and condo association managers. Welcome, the Jacobs Law Group. And our final AMC member this morning is Wesley Farter. Wesley has dedicated his life to youth development through sports, culture, and education. He champions integrity, mentorship, and opportunities, building platforms that uplift student athletes. Be sure to ask him about his recent Tournament of Champions and Basketball Classic. Wesley has delighted us to join the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to all of our new members, and let's make a commitment to get to know them. As we always say, it's good business to do business with Aventura Marketing Council members. Have a great day.
It is my pleasure, sincere pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today. We are here today because of this gentleman to my left, your right, Dr. Pablo Ortiz, who spoke to his leadership team as soon as he arrived here at Barry University on his new endeavor. We are so thankful to Dr. Pablo Ortiz being a friend of ours, for his leadership skills, for the time he has spent assisting us at the Chamber of Commerce over the years, and being very cordial with everything we have asked of him. On behalf of everybody here today, I'd like to present this plaque of recognition for giving all of us here today the opportunity to meet with your leadership team here at Barry University and sponsoring today's luncheon. Let's give not only Barry, but Dr. Pablo Ortiz our appreciation, a huge round of applause, please.
So once again, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Aventura Marketing Council. Barry is beyond honored to be able to host this lunch today, and in particular the great conversation that we're going to be hearing from the panel. But before I just say a few words on behalf of Barry University, I do want to recognize we also have here from Aventura City Commission, Paul Kruss is also here. Paul? And then I want to introduce you to really the true VIPs of today's gathering. And if you haven't noticed yet, we do have a handful of students that are with us here from Barry University. So would the students stand up and just say hello, wave your hand? So Barry University is a university with great history, founded in 1940. And it's driven by mission, it's driven by purpose, and it's driven by a deep connection that we have in this community. But one of the things that we recognize as a university is that we're also very humble. And I'm sure to many folks in this room and folks outside of this room, not too many know exactly how powerful and the great history that Barry University has. Not only with the programs that we have here, but today's gathering is so much well-timed based on what we want to share with you, that our law school in Orlando, Florida, is now going through a tremendous transformation. We are anticipating now the arrival of our new Dean of Law, Charlie Rose, who's coming to us from Ohio Northern University. And he is going to bring just decades of expertise and leadership to the law school that we know is going to take that to yet another level. But beyond the dean, what we also know at Barry University is that we have two major areas that we focus on in terms of how we support our students. And we have two themes that drive every decision that we make here at Barry as a leadership team and throughout our faculty and staff. One theme is progression to graduation. What can we do as a university to ensure that our students are getting the academic support that they need to get across the stage as soon as possible? We love them, but we want to see them go. We want them to cross the stage and be able to start earning and really experiencing what they're preparing for. So we work and we make decisions to help ensure that that support is there every step of the way. The second theme for us is really why this is so important here and relevant to today's gathering is graduation to employment. How can we better position our students to be ready for the world of work that they're going to be facing? We do that through opportunities like this. This is why we have our students here. We'd love to have another 150 students gathered with us. We didn't have the space for them. But these kinds of opportunities to network, to meet professionals, to really see what they can become in the future, those are all of the tools and the skill sets that we like to give them so that when they do graduate, they get pushed to the front of the line. It's a competitive world out there. So we want our Barry graduates to be very competitive and get chosen because of the preparation that they've had and, of course, the tight mission that we instill in everything that we do. Some examples of great alums that we've had, in particular, graduated from the law school. We have, by the way, it's a very young law school, but even for being a relatively young law school, we have many, many alumni who have gone on to serve with distinction across the judiciary, including 16 circuit judges, 5 county judges, 1 federal immigration judge, and 1 magistrate judge, spanning 5 Florida judicial circuits, federal services, and courts in other states. This, of course, this record reflects the strength of Barry's legal education and its emphasis on public service and justice. Outside of the judges, we also have with us here today a prominent attorney here in South Florida and Barry alum, Ira Gonzalez, who's joined us here, who leads as a partner in McCarter in English and has really spearheaded the move of McCarter in English here into South Florida. But really, his claim to fame is not his success on the professional front. His claim to fame is that I was his high school baseball coach. And because of that, he went on to play at a very high level competitive baseball at the college level and beyond. So, Ida, it's great to have you here. So now, really, this is the highlight of the program for me. I have the opportunity to introduce someone that not only do I see as a champion and a true change maker for this community, someone that spends and has spent his entire life giving back to the community, but someone that in recent years I've been able to call a friend. I've witnessed the work that this individual does. I've seen with my own eyes the impact that he has made on young people across this community. If anyone wants to see what it looks like to be someone who gives back to the community and makes a difference, look no further than the Honorable Dr. Billy Joel. Billy, come up here and join me, please.
Thank you, Pablo. It's a big day for me. I am so pleased to be here in Miami Shores at Barry University. Founded 85 years ago, Barry is a major driver of prosperity in this community and a powerful symbol of our shared commitment to education. My wife Sandra and I are deeply committed to student success. We understand that education is the foundation of community well-being. At FIU, we had the privilege of establishing the Golden Gifts Fund and raised $2.5 million to support student scholarships. We intend to do exactly the same and more at Barry University. And I am donating $100,000 gift to launch the Platinum Gifts campaign. Each $2,500 platinum gift helps hard-working students graduate on time. You'll have to excuse me. I take this very much to heart. There are students whose families are counting on their success. For many, a college degree represents the opportunity to break cycles of multi-generational poverty. There are students that we believe in. We invite our fellow members and community partners to consider supporting these students with a $2,500 platinum gift. Our goal is to show this endowment to $2.5 million, so it can, to $2.5 million, excuse me, a little bit more, so it can support students in perpetuity well beyond our lifetimes. Gifts of any amount are meaningful and appreciated. Every contribution helps a student cross the finish line. An investment in education is one of the most lasting investments we can make. On your table is a flyer with a website and a QR code to find out how to join Sandra and myself on this journey from the heart. And we would appreciate all of your support. We need it. Come along with us. Thank you.
Billy, I have to tell you, I got really excited when you said 2,500 million. I was, we can do a lot with that amount, right? But listen, on a more serious note, I've witnessed Billy get emotional on more occasions that I can remember. But what I do remember is that every time Billy gets emotional, it's because he's speaking about the kids, about the students, about those lives that he wants to impact. And it's so appropriate for him to share what he has shared and to launch this great initiative for us. Because I know as you were coming into this campus and you had a chance to walk around, on most of your minds was, boy, how do I get involved? How can I help? And for us, relationships are very important because they're not just driven one-sided in receiving something. We believe that our relationships are based on a true partnership. Everything that we're able to generate here at the university goes back into our students. Our promise in this relationship is that our students will succeed. Our students will cross the stage and earn their degrees and be successful after they graduate. So we are encouraging you to think about how we can come together and support all of our students here at Barry University. And we know that that's going to be the beginning of a wonderful partnership moving forward. So we thank you very much. Billy, you and Sandy, as always, leading up front. We can't thank you enough for everything you've done for Barry University. Thank you. So now we'll move on to the meat of our gathering today, because we know that just about all gatherings for Aventura Marketing Council are educational, they're thought-provoking. It's a great opportunity for us to come together and learn a few things. So today we've got quite the lineup for you. We have a head table. I'm going to call them up one at a time. We have a wonderful panel discussion that's going to take place with a number of judges, as you heard. These are the all-star judges that we've put together. So bear with me as I introduce each one, because they do deserve to be introduced. First, I'll start with Judge Linda Singer-Stein. She has been a judge for 3 decades and has served as the administrative judge for the County Court Civil Division, where she has been an invaluable member to new judges, or mentor to new judges. She has presided over a variety of civil cases for most of her time on the bench at the North Dade Justice Center. Judge Stein is also an adjunct professor at St. Thomas University College of Law. We've got to change that.
I've been waiting for the call.
I know. Everybody's on notice. Our whole cabinet's here, so we're on notice. And among her awards are the Chief Justice Award for Judicial Excellence, the Community Champion Award for the Ancient Spanish Monastery County Court Judge of the Year from the Cuban American Bar Association, and the Deborah Judge Award from the Miami Jewish Legal Society. Judge Stein, everyone. Next is Judge Natalie Moore. Judge Moore has served on the county court bench since 2019 and now serves at the North Dade Justice Center. She is a native Miamian and a triple Gator. I'll pause there for a moment. Who began her legal career at the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office and rose through the ranks, serving in the misdemeanor, juvenile, and felony divisions. Later, she was selected to be a felony division chief, prosecuting first and second-degree murder cases while supervising other attorneys. Judge Moore remains active in the community and teaches every year at a statewide trial advocacy school for prosecutors and public defenders, and at a week-long seminar on advanced trial skills for civic lawyers. Judge Moore. Next, Judge Raul Cuervo. Judge Cuervo has been a county court judge since 2018, hearing traffic, criminal, and misdemeanor cases. He was born in Cuba, received his associate in arts degree from Dade Junior College, and his bachelor's and Juris Doctor from the University of Florida. A double gator. Where he was editor of the UF Law Review. Prior to his appointment to the bench, he was a shareholder at Carlton Fields Law Firm and specialized in national class action lawsuits. Judge Cuervo grew up in North Miami, and both he and his wife are Army veterans. Thank you for your service. And on behalf of everyone here, we thank you for being here with us today, Judge Cuervo. Judge Cristina Rivera Correa. Judge Correa is a new circuit judge assigned to the Domestic Violence Division at the North Dade Justice Center. Prior to her elevation, she served as the Associate Administrative Judge for the County Criminal Court and the presiding judge in the Jail Division. Judge Rivera Correa is the first female graduate of her law school to be appointed to the bench. A public servant her entire legal career, Judge Rivera Correa was an assistant state attorney and an assistant school board attorney before becoming a jurist. Judge Rivera Correa. Judge Christopher Benjamin. First of all, thank you for your service in the U.S. Army, Judge Benjamin. Thank you. Judge Benjamin received his Bachelor of Science in Political Science from Florida Memorial University and his Juris Doctor from St. Thomas University. He worked as an attorney in the Family Division of the 11th Judicial Court of Miami-Dade and has opened his own law office to provide affordable legal services. He is certified in alternative dispute resolution and has served as a traffic hearing officer with the 11th Judicial Circuit. In 2020, he was elected to the Florida House of Representatives and re-elected again in 2022. In 2024, he was elected as a Miami-Dade County Court Judge and serves at the North Dade Justice Center. Judge Benjamin. And the last panelist is Judge Michael Barquette. Judge Barquette, a Miami native, received his Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice from Seattle University, where he was a member of the National Criminal Justice Honor Society, and his Juris Doctor from Samford University, Cumberland School of Law. He was admitted to practice with the Florida Bar, U.S. Southern District of Florida, and the Supreme Court of the United States. Elected a county court judge in 2018, he then moved on to the County Criminal Division and the County Civil Division, where he is currently a County Civil Administrative Judge. Judge Barquette. Now, seeing this powerful panel that we have here, I am very glad that I do not have to moderate this group. So we have a great panel moderator that I'd like to introduce at this time, and she is none other than Myriam Lehr, retired judge and currently a mediator and arbitrator with JAMS. So Myriam joined JAMS after serving 21 years as a judge in the 11th, 27. That's what I said, no? 27? 21, 27. All the numbers are getting blurry here now. 27 years as a judge in the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida. Prior to her time on the bench, she practiced civil litigation in Miami, handling a wide variety of matters, including civil and family law mediations, where her natural skills in resolving conflicts became evident. Today, at JAMS, she leverages her vast experience to facilitate equitable solutions as a mediator, arbitrator, special magistrate, and neutral evaluator. While on the bench, Ms. Lehr presided over hundreds of jury and non-jury trials, covering a variety of practice areas, including business, commercial, real estate, real property, insurance, personal injury protection, employment, subrogation, breach of contract, foreclosures, commercial. The list goes on and on. You get the hint. She was known as a patient and deliberate jurist with a unique ability to diffuse tension, and she continues to treat everyone with dignity and respect. Pearl Homburg. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to turn the microphone over to Myriam Lehr.
Thank you so very much. Truly a pleasure to be here. And before we get started, just for a second, I'm holding this beautiful flyer, and I wanted to say to my friend, Dr. Billy Joel, you and your wife are truly honorable people. You're wonderful citizens that make our world a better place. And I'm so glad that I am here to celebrate your achievement. So good to be here. So without wasting any time, it is truly an honor to be here with my wonderful friends. All of these wonderful judges are dear friends of mine. And I have thought about a couple of questions to ask them to start a conversation going. And I would very much like to start with Judge Barquette. So you are the new administrative judge for the Civil Division County Court. So maybe I can start with asking you to give us an update. I know that the new courthouse, downtown courthouse, has been inaugurated. I was there with you. Maybe you want to fill us in as to what is doing with the new courthouse and what are your plans for the future for the Civil Division?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's a real honor to be here. The Aventura Marketing Council has been wonderful to me throughout my career. So the new courthouse, we finally got it up. It's built. Commissioner Heyman was here. She was instrumental in getting that built.
That's true.
And it's wonderful. It really is. Every judge now has a courtroom. We're no longer sharing courtrooms and having to move people around. It's made it wonderful for the jurors coming in. We have a nice spacious jury room. It's real comfortable, and that's great. And on the note of jurors, what we're doing now is we are going to try to bring jury trials to our branch courts, coming to North Dade and South Dade, trying to serve our constituents better. You know, some people don't want to drive or come downtown for our jury trials, so we're bringing them closer to home sometimes, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Is that a new initiative by
It
our
is,
new
yes.
Chief Judge Fajardo?
Yes.
Yes.
And we've been working on that.
Well, that
since
should
we-
be very terrific. Yes. For the different branch courts or just specifically?
We're going to roll it out hopefully in North Dade and South Dade first, and then 2 other branch courts that can handle it.
Okay. So there's a lot of talk about artificial intelligence. Again, Judge Fajardo came out in January, correct, with an administrative order requiring disclosure of use of AI by attorneys and pro se litigants. Can you give us some background, please? And let me ask you, and I know we have 2 judges from the criminal division as well. I believe that applies to both civil and criminal.
It does.
Okay,
Yeah.
give us some background. Why is this happening?
As you said, Chief Fajardo put out a new administrative order, but she's really following the directives of the Florida Supreme Court, who artificial intelligence is a big topic right now, and it started to come into the legal community. So we now require you, whether you're a lawyer or you're representing yourself as a litigant to disclose if AI has been used in help drafting anything that you write and submit to the court. Yes, ma'am. Well, the real honest answer to that is yes. If you use AI, you have to disclose. I don't think there's going to be a single judge or anyone who's going to go, AI picked up that comma, should be a semicolon. But what the Florida Supreme Court and our administrative order is trying to do is keep people honest, keep people in check.
And I'm going to interject, Judge Burkett. All it is the attorneys or the pro se has to disclose. That's it. Sign
One
off that
line.
you I don't think you're going to hold it against an attorney or a pro se person.
The only time you would do it, and I'll tell you a short story.
Just a short one.
A short story.
I was told I've got 12, 13 minutes
I was
left.
getting
so
ready.
make it short.
I was getting ready for a hearing one time, and I'm
Yeah.
reading this beautiful answer.
Yeah.
And it's got case law and all. And then when I took the bench, I turned to the litigant and went to ask her about it. And she told me, I'm sorry, I don't speak English. But it was, I figured out it was AI generated at that point.
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, I just had a case 2 days ago, as a matter of fact, where a pro se litigant, clearly it was strictly an AI motion. Every word was basically gibberish because it didn't really relate to her case. But the state came on, I struck the motion was stricken for other reasons, but they came on and specifically said, you need to disclose that you used AI. If you're going to amend your motion, you need to disclose AI. And I mean, I have to say that a lot of the pro se litigants are not going to be able to do or prepare these motions without AI. They're just not going to be able to. But all they have to do is disclose it.
That's
It's
right.
not a, Right.
That's right. Judge Cuervo, I was
just going to add one thing, which is what I would say to you is consider disclosing how you used AI. In other words, you may want to say AI was used to generate the content, AI was used for research purposes, or AI was used for grammar, right? And that may give your judge a heads up as to how you're using AI. I'm going to look at something very differently if you use Grammarly versus if you used it to find your case citations.
okay. Thank you. Judge Cuervo.
Yes.
So what are the most problematic cases you are dealing with
Well,
right
actually,
now?
I was going to talk about a few cases, but
Yeah.
Chief Bentolila just mentioned a case where these children were injured and the person who injured them stopped. Okay, that's not always the case. We have very many leaving the scene of the accident cases, especially leaving the scene of an accident with injury. Those are very tough cases, as I'm sure my colleagues will point out, for two reasons. First of all, the victim, the person who was hit, their car was hit, are not always able to identify the driver. You have to identify, it's called wheeling the defendant. You have to identify that person. You have to be able to say, I recognize them. And so very often that's not the case. But
So what happens, if you could just tell everyone, that wouldn't be familiar with the law, if you don't have someone to identify?
the case is dismissed.
Okay,
The
that's
case
what
is
happens.
dismissed.
Yeah.
And it used to be that the state required not only the wheel witness or the victim, but also the officer that made the arrest. That's sort of changed. Now, the state is not requiring the officer. Sometimes they can't make it for whatever reason, but you have all the evidence you need with just the victim.
Yeah.
They can identify the driver, they can identify the damage, and so on and so forth.
Before I proceed with Judge Correa, I just wanted to say we're so thrilled that you are campaigning to get reelected, and we're truly blessed to have you as our judge. So
Thank you.
good luck and keep up
Thank
the
you.
good work.
Thank you.
So Judge Correa is now in the you handle domestic violence cases. You're in the division.
Civil injunction.
Civil injunctions, but she came to us from having been the associate administrative judge of the criminal division.
County criminal, yes.
County criminal, thank you, yes.
And I was the presiding judge over the jail division. If any of you have practiced or served as a juror, thank you. In a criminal case, you'll see that the jury instruction will say that the juror's task, or the finder of fact, in a bench trial, it would be the judge, is to determine if the defendant if the crime was committed, number one, and number two, if the defendant is the person who committed that crime. So to piggyback off what Judge Cuervo was saying about identifying a person, it applies to all criminal cases and also DUIs, so driving under the influence. And just going back to what Judge Cuervo was saying about that identification being necessary, there's sometimes circumstantial evidence that can show the finder of fact that this person was in fact the person behind the wheel. For example, in a DUI, the first witness may come across the defendant outside of the vehicle. However, there was a crash, the airbag was deployed, that person has airbag, that powder on them, they have a seatbelt, burn, what's consistent with someone having been in the driver's seat, and there's no other occupants in the vehicle. So there is a jury instruction for the finder of fact to look at those circumstantial pieces of evidence to try and determine whether or not you had an eyewitness to what happened.
And the jury instructions talk about circumstantial evidence repeatedly, because a lot of jurors think you have to actually see the thing happen. But if the circumstances are there, you can convict.
Moving on to domestic violence, how is it going? What can you share with our wonderful guests here?
So I just want to also...
How is it going? Yeah.
I'm so happy. I was elevated from county court, and the way that I ended up at the North Dade Justice Center is that that's where the need was, right? The legislation created this position in the North Dade Justice Center, because of the need to address these domestic violence civil injunctions. So as you heard from my brief bio, I've always been a public servant from the moment I graduated. FIU, by the way, I felt like it just wasn't tasteful to say FIU while I was at a Barry event, but go Panthers. And so I've always just been trying to answer the call, right? Where am I needed? Where can I best serve the public? And so I feel very fulfilled knowing that that position was essentially created because of the need for that particular type of judge, and that I'm filling it. So it's very satisfying.
And how many hearings do you have per session?
So I have 3 sessions, not counting any special set cases, and we'll have around 6 to 7. Oh gosh, I didn't just say that. Any young people in the audience, 6 or 7 cases per session. And I'm also, it worked out in a way where this new position, I am now the only judge handling the emergency petitions for injunction. So the temporary ones that come in round the clock, and by the way, our clerk has extended the hours for anyone who wants to come in and seek that, which is great. I'm the only judge doing that now, so that also occupies the time.
And before I move on to Judge Stein, so that's domestic violence, repeat violence, stalking, includes
dating violence, sexual
dating.
violence.
So the office at the North Dade Justice Center, unfortunately, is very busy, but is available
to handle those
victims.
cases.
Yes. Thank you so much. Well, Judge Stein.
Or Judge Lehr.
Well,
I
Judge
mean,
Stein.
mediator, arbitrator, Lehr.
Long time, Judge Stein.
The honorable mediator,
So we all know
arbitrator.
Judge Stein, right? I used to sit right there next to her. Almost 3 decades. Truly the pillar of North Dade. You're there.
Everybody says to me,
holding the fort.
Everybody says to me, "Oh my God, Mimi's gone. Don't you miss her?" And I say, "How can I miss her? I talk to her more than I talked to her before."
All right. So, general question: what has changed the most since I last left last year for you? Besides me not having lunch with you, what's going on?
Well, since you left,
Yes.
I would say
You
mostly,
have Judge. Yeah.
mostly what's changed is our new chief judge, Fajardo, who I think you'll meet at some point, or you might have met at the law meeting last time, has been wonderful with her associates as well, Judge Benavides and Judge Cuesta, to try to streamline our system a bit more, at least in civil, to have our cases managed a little more closely by our case managers, and also to implement certain procedures with regard to our system of uploading documents and being able to control our dockets a little bit more. So as a result, the amount of cases per county court judge, and Judge Barquette, my administrative judge, can correct me if I'm wrong, but we have gone from several years
Nobody
ago to
corrects Judge Stein.
from about 13,000 cases per judge to now under 5,000
Yep.
cases per
Yeah.
judge.
Yeah.
And that's as a result. We didn't really have a backlog before, but there were so many cases being filed, and we had really very few ways in which to assist in closing our cases, that all of these implementations of different procedures by our chief and by our administrative judge as well have helped us to lower our caseload.
But
So
can I interject? And I know you'll agree with me. Judge Moore was instrumental in reducing during the Blitz. No.
absolutely. yeah.
Kudos to you. You really played a big part in reducing all of our old cases that were, supposed to go to jury trial, and some went and a lot settled, right?
Yes.
Let's not leave out the fact that the legislature did increase the number of county court civil judges also.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
that helped quite a bit.
True. True. Judge Stein, can you touch upon, because I know it affects all of us here, collecting on judgments? What's going on with that?
So there's been a brand new case, only a couple of months old, by the Florida Supreme Court, and I know some of you have asked in the past, I have this final judgment against somebody who owes me money, and how do I collect on it? Because a lot of times that person is not voluntarily paying on the judgment. So I don't have great news for one aspect of collecting on a judgment. It used to be that if someone who was owed money found a bank account of that person, of the debtor, they were able to try to seize that bank account in a proceeding called a garnishment. And so if the owner of the bank account said, but wait, that bank account is protected because it's a joint bank account with my spouse, it was the owner of the bank account's burden to show that the bank account was open together with their spouse at the very same time, meaning some of the case law interpreted that to mean that the spouses actually had to go to the bank at the same exact time, sign the card that they were opening the account, and call it something called a tenancy by the entireties. Well, that meant that a lot of these bank accounts were not protected because sometimes a husband or a wife had to work and they couldn't get to the bank at the same time. And so I even had cases where there was no, what they call a unity of time, where they would both go to the bank at the exact same time and see the exact same teller and sign at the exact same time. Well, now that's not the case anymore. The Florida Supreme Court said it doesn't matter if they went at the same time. All it has to be is that they each signed the card at some point. It became a joint account.
That's good.
And now it cannot be seized upon by the creditor.
That's a good.
Now, there's several other factors that they have to show, but that was a big one. So I'm so sorry for those of you who have to collect on debts. You have a little more of a stumbling block.
Thank you. I don't mean to rush, but I have to.
Did I speak as much as Judge Barquette?
I don't know.
You talk more.
I don't know. So, Judge Moore, we touched upon the fact that you played a very big part in helping us with our caseload. So here's a question for you. From your perspective, what one change would improve access to justice, whether it be technology, procedure, or resources? And I'm asking her this question because she always thinks out of the box. We were neighbors at the courthouse, so I just thought, let's hear from you. Anything right now that you think would be?
There's a couple things.
Okay.
I think, first of all, the biggest change happened to us recently, and that is the advent of using Zoom as a way to access the courts. I don't know how many lawyers are in the room here, but I know that most of us really appreciate that the fact that we have to be in so many courtrooms means that we can do it from our desks rather than driving to the North Dade Justice Center for a 15-minute hearing, followed by driving to the South Dade Justice Center an hour and a half away for a 15-minute hearing. It's also been really beneficial for our pro se litigants, so many of whom always had to take a day off from work just to go for a 15-minute hearing in court. And for many people who are being sued, who are involved in litigation, the last thing they can afford to do right now is take another day off work just for a court hearing. So to piggyback on that, I think that we need to, as judges, and I know that we're all working on this, continue to make sure that access to Zoom and understanding how to use the Zoom platform is important. I love that our Aventura library here has so many computers so that those of us who don't have access to strong internet and need to appear in a courtroom can do that. So I think continuing to find ways to utilize remote appearances is going to make a difference. The other thing that I always talk about is professionalism. Whether you're a lawyer dealing with a pro se litigant on the other side or a lawyer dealing with a lawyer on the other side, giving each other a little bit of grace really matters. We all have a lot of cases, a lot of courtrooms to be in, a lot of work to do, and with the new changes in our rules, a lot of deadlines to meet. I would be remiss if I didn't, I think he's still here. Is Russ Jacobs still here? Apparently he's one of our, he shot his hand up. He's one of our newest members of the Aventura Marketing Council, so congratulations. But I bring it up not because of that, but because he's the chair of the Miami-Dade Bar Professionalism Committee. I serve with him on that. And we regularly meet and we talk about how important it is for lawyers to give each other that benefit, while zealously representing your clients for sure, but also by giving everybody the opportunity to say, you know what, we all have those big deadlines coming up. How can we work together to meet them? So those are the ways I think that we're best able to increase access.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, last but not least, my friend, Judge Benjamin, Christopher Benjamin. So, I don't know if you all know, maybe you all do. Judge Benjamin also served, I believe, from 2020 to 2024 as a state representative with honor, did an outstanding job to help the citizens that voted for him. So the question to you, sir, there is a transition, right? From being an advocate to being a judge, to being a neutral. What say you? How have you adjusted? Because I adjusted from judge to mediator. We're like both going. So do you want to share some of your thoughts and how you're enjoying your first year as a judge?
In terms of how I am enjoying my first year as a judge, it's great. You know, I had many quasi-judicial roles before becoming a judge. So being a judge and performing judicial role full time has been a great change of pace for me. Transitioning from being an advocate, I mean, Tallahassee is very different than judicial process.
Right.
And I think in the best way, and even as your role as a neutral, a mediator or a mediator, is that we sit in the room, we hear the issues, we see where the problem is at, but we don't get to make the decisions.
Correct.
Here we get to make the decisions. You can see the right path, and you can pull the trigger on that. You can say this is how this case should end, and that this is justice in this regard. And I enjoy that. I enjoy my ability to administer justice for the folks that come to the People's Court. And I truly believe that the court does belong to the people. And so I believe that my role in administering justice is important, and that they understand why we rule the way that we rule. And so I take great pleasure in educating those folks who come to the courtroom and the courthouse to understand why their case is in the way that their case is in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Elaine, are we good? We're good. We can, yeah? All right. Thank you, my wonderful friends and colleagues. Thank you all. That's it.
That's it.
Someone just say Barry has the best swag.
Yes.
I thank you. Good.
So in closing, first of all, Myriam, thank you for moderating this great panel. To all of our panelists, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to a very special person here at the university. This is Justin Suarez. He's one of our students. He'd like to share just a little bit about himself, and then we'll close this out with a wonderful door prize at the end. Justin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I won't take up too much of your time. I know it's moving along here. My name is Justin Suarez. I graduated Barry University with an undergraduate degree in pre-professional biology last spring, and I'm currently continuing. Thank you. And I'm currently continuing my journey studying biomedical sciences as a graduate student here as well. I also serve as a graduate assistant for the Office of the President, and I'm delighted to thank you for the support and the attendance of this meeting on behalf of Barry University, and we look forward to working with you on our beautiful campus. Thank you.
One of Justin's assignments is whenever I come in to the office in the morning, he checks my outfit and he gives me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So he keeps me in check, right, Justin? All right, so now, because of all the amazing support, as always, we're going to have a drawing for a wonderful prize. And this, we found it, good. So this is for one of our AMC members, and this is a $200 dining gift certificate to Diviero's Ristorante in Aventura Mall. It's a good restaurant if you haven't been there. So I will select the winner. And by the way, you must be present. So if you're not hearing this, that means you're done. See, this is karma.
Oh, I see the card.
This is karma. So we forgot to introduce him at the beginning. We had to come back and introduce him, and now he walks away with the gift. So I'd like to call up Aventura Commissioner Paul Kruss to get the gift. I didn't plan that, Paul. So once again, thank you to the Aventura Marketing Council. A very, very special thanks to Elaine for helping us put all this together. Thank you once again to the Honorable Dr. Billy Joel for your commitment. Have a great day from Barry University.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.